Okay, welcome to Lesson 3, Part 2.5, Theorems and Converses about Parallel Lines. And we are going to be showing that these lines are parallel. So here we're actually going to formalize the converses needed to show two lines are parallel if they're cut by a transversal. We're going to begin with the corresponding angles converse. If you remember converses as well, it's basically like a theorem backwards. So this is basically our corresponding angles theorem with the words flipped around. So if two lines are cut by a transversal so that corresponding angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So in this picture down here we have AB and CD. We want to know if they are parallel or not. Well, if we see that angle 1 is congruent to angle 5, 2 is congruent to 7, 2 is congruent to 6, 3 is congruent to 7, 4 is congruent to 8, then we can say that line AB is parallel to line CD. Our next converse is the alternate interior angles converse. If two lines are cut by a transversal so that the alternate interior angles are congruent, then the lines are parallel. So again, this is just the flip of our alternate interior angles theorem. If we have two lines that we want to see are parallel and they're cut by a transversal, we check and see if the alternate interior angles are congruent. So if angle 3 is congruent to angle 5 and angle 4 is congruent to angle 6, then we can state that line AB is parallel to line CD. Next we have the alternate exterior angles converse. If two lines are cut by a transversal so that alternate exterior angles are congruent, then we can say the lines are parallel. So again, in this picture we want to show that CD is parallel to AB. So we look at the alternate exterior angles, and if we see that angle 1 is congruent to angle 7 and angle 2 is congruent to angle 8, then we can say that line AB is parallel to line CD. And our last converse is the same side interior angles converse. If we have two lines that are cut by a transversal and the same side interior angles are supplementary, then the lines are parallel. So we look and we see that AB and CD are cut by a transversal. If we are able to see that the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 5 equals 180, and the measure of angle 4 plus the measure of angle 6 equals 180, then we can state that line AB is parallel to CD. So after seeing the formalized versions of these four converses, was your thoughts and your group thoughts right on the first video? If you want, go ahead and look at that video part 2 again just to see if all these converses match up.